Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Stockport, the 100th episode in this save. I'm glad we've got this far, and to be honest, when I was starting this save, I figured 100 episodes in, we'd probably be championship. That was kind of my target, and if we were to somehow win the Premier League this year, someone pointed out, we'd have actually done it quicker than we did with Wimbledon, and bearing in mind we started 2 divisions below what we did with Wimbledon, so that would be quite the achievement. But again, 100th episode, so you might have already seen the runtime on this and thought, oh, that's a bit of a long one. Well, yeah, because there's loads of games off camera, we've got a double header of ties against Leipzig, and something else very special as well. So yeah, all of that coming up. It's like a Saturday morning TV show at this point, isn't it? Zoe Ball will be on in a minute. Now, over the last couple of episodes, you might have heard me talk about how things feel like they've changed, and I couldn't quite pinpoint why, and that has certainly not disappeared. However, I haven't had a chance to do the sort of analysis I would normally, but we have had a look at a few things, and I definitely have noticed some changes, and I don't think it's as bad as last time, because it's for different reasons, but we'll talk about that as we go along. Also, we've lost a player. We've lost a player for big money, and there was not a thing I could do about it, and it was frustrating as all hell. But more on that in a minute. First, let's get into the off-camera games because we've got a lot to do today. So fresh off the back of that 1-0 win against Stoke, we actually went to Craven Cottage, put a reasonably good performance in, and won 2-0. And at Abasolo's goal, Pedro's goal. Fulham did nothing they were okay. Didn't create a lot of chances, but, Vadasanovic had a few opportunities in this game. As you can also see, ETS... man of the match, Eric Thompson-Svenningsson, 5 key passes, 2 chances created, and an assist, and he won man of the match in this one. He has put in some absolute shifts for us. I have to say, he's taken after his dad and doing one hell of a job for us, considering he's the 3rd best left back at the club. What a performance from him. But a 2-0 win. That made it back-to-back wins, no goals conceded. I thought, right, we're slowly starting to find ourselves, but I still felt something felt a bit niggly. And then it happened. The single most frustrating game I've ever had on this save by a country goddamn mile. So, as you can see, we battered Newcastle. We managed to have 14 shots on target, and we only had 5 long-range shots in this game. So some of them might have been on target, some of them weren't. 14 shots on target and only scored 1 goal in this match. Fair enough, Holdsworth played an absolute blinder, but that is insane. But we did manage to take the lead through Pedro. Nice work. In fact, ETS got the assist on this one as well, put in yet another fantastic performance for us. And I thought, right, we're 1-0 up, battering Newcastle, things are going well. Unfortunately, they then got to go from a corner. Again, bit annoying, but what can you do? Maybe we need to start working on defending corners now, because it seems that when you block one leak and another one pops out. But oh boy, do I need to show you their winner. This is one of those times when you feel like the game is just going, no, they are going to beat you no matter what you do. Obviously, that's not what's happening, but my God, does it feel like, and I'll show you for why. So watch what happens here. We're in stoppage time. The ball is played back to Wilson. Nice. We just have to sit. He's got options all across the pitch, all over the place. So what does he do? He runs out and then just... What? What would you do that for? And then he doesn't even try and get back in his goal properly. That made no... Why, in the 90th minute of a football match, would you do that? That makes no sense. And that's the 3rd own goalie weird nonsense we've conceded this season. And I wonder if it's to do with Wilson's positioning, because with the Canmaz one and the Roussel one, both of which, I felt like if he was further back in his goal, he wouldn't have had the problem to deal with them. And this one, if he, instead of running out with the ball at his feet, just passes it out, that would have made a difference. So what I've done is I've switched him to a defensive sweeper keeper with the idea that he can still sweep and pass those kind of passes and to create counterattacks, but he's not going to run out with the ball and try to make silly passes in theory. And we might have to move him back even further if he keeps doing it. So that's my theory on it. But Mike, I was furious to see it just give them the win like that, particularly when we'd absolutely smashed them. We played really, really well. But there you go. And then next up, we played Southampton in the 2nd leg at St Mary's, and fair play, we mugged them off. We got our revenge, and normally I'd be like, you know what, that kind of sucks for them. But this time I don't give a crap, because they did the exact same thing to us in the 1st leg and had no right to be in that game. So I feel like over 2 legs, we deserve to go through. 6-4 in the end in this one. Sloughy scored a goal for us, and Abasolo. They were both indirect free kicks, and it was our first 2 shots of the game. So it definitely does happen to us as well, that is for sure. Bisa got one for us as well. Andrea Favelli, despite being marked up specifically as well as all across the board, still managed to get free to score a couple of goals. But we are in the League Cup final, and that was my little surprise, because we're doing 3 live comms today. We're doing both games against RB Leipzig and the League Cup final against Chelsea, because of course it's Chelsea. So that's going to be a fun one. Our first chance at a piece of silverware, but in all honesty, I don't think we're going to get it somehow. But we really did not deserve to win this match. Certainly not on the night, but I think overall on the tie, we did. And then we got Newcastle in the FA Cup. We've played Newcastle 3 times in this period because we had the replay as well. And we played, reasonably well. Not as good as we did against them in the first game of this period, but still definitely enough to win the match. Liam Miller, I thought, had done that in the 82nd minute. But then Newcastle got a late equaliser. Would you like to see the late equaliser? So, goal kick, 91st minute. Wilson has the ball at his feet. 2 players here to potentially pass it to. We didn't change who we were allowing him to pass it to. So, watch what he does. Not goal kick, sorry, free kick. Just drops it randomly into the midfield to absolutely nobody. And then, second game in a row against Newcastle where that's happened in the 90th minute to give them something from the game. I've never seen that before. That is amazing. That one was a bit different because it was from a dead ball situation, but it still baffles me how this sort of thing just keeps happening now. Unfortunately, then we came out on the wrong side of a fairly even game against Liverpool. It's just when things aren't going right. You know, when you've had the morale hits, you're not going to win the even matches, unfortunately. Fabio Silva gave them the lead. Jim Vavor put them 2-0 up. Pedro did get one back for us, and I think we were a pretty good value in terms of chances and key passes in this game for opportunities, but it just wasn't to be. A 1-2 defeat at home to Liverpool. It's a bit unfortunate, but we've had some good results against the big sides earlier this year, so I can't really begrudge it. Slawi did get injured though, which is a problem, and he's going to miss the first RB Leipzig game. We then had Man United away. We played okay in this one, in the sense that we didn't create as many shots, but we did actually create a few good opportunities in this game. We had 2 clear-cut chances and 1 half chance in this one, which was actually not too bad, but I still don't think we deserved anything from the match. Cuisance scored an absolutely ridiculous goal. About the furthest out I've seen a goal go in from. He was sort of midway between, not quite, just shy of halfway between the centre circle and the D. That's how far out he was. And he bent it in the top corner. Wilson probably could have done a bit better, but he still did okay in the game. Vinicius Jr. then got a goal for them. I think it was from a header from a cross. Bicester did get one back, but it wasn't enough. But then you start to see these results, and that's actually 3 straight defeats in the league, all by the scoreline of 2-1. The Man United and Liverpool ones are a bit iffy, in the sense that they could have gone either way. The Newcastle one was ridiculous, but you could just suddenly see it's like something's flipped, and I think I know why. But before that, we had to go to Newcastle and lose 2-1 after being in front. Because of course we did. And Abasola gave us the lead in this one. We weren't that great on the night. Still created some good opportunities, to be fair to us. But Newcastle was pretty damn good, and towards the end they really did start to turn it on. Piatek scored, and then Lima Honey went through in the 82nd minute to give Newcastle the win. So yeah, 4 consecutive 2-1 defeats. Very, very odd the way things have gone. But yeah. So this is how the league looks at the moment. We've got 52 points. We're only 3 points now from the Champions League places because we've lost 3 consecutive league games. We do have a game in hand though, so that could push that back to 6. I still think our chances of getting Champions League are still good, but we need to figure something out. And I think the changes are the sheer amount of games we've had has led to me having to rotate the squad quite a lot. And I think that all those different changes has certainly meant that we've never got a proper balance, basically. And I think this all started after the Manchester City game, really. The form just didn't feel right from that moment onwards. We've been missing players constantly because of all the fixtures changes and the injuries as a result of having to play players in these fixtures. And I just don't think we've quite had the squad depth at the moment. I'm hoping that as it calms down a little bit, we're out the FA Cup, the League Cup finals soon as well. Hopefully we can calm it down and just sort of concentrate on getting the wins over the teams we should be beating, like we did towards the end of last year, and we should be fine. The change I made to Wilson was something I noticed and I thought I could make the change, but the thing is, a lot of the goals we were conceding were from dead ball situations, so we can train those, but other than adjusting the tactic, and I wouldn't know what to do with it, there's not really much we could do there. It just seems to all have come at once, and I think it's because of the changing centre-back partnership, which brings me on to the bit I was worried about. And that brings us to Tala Camas, who now plays for Real Madrid. Yeah. And this is the most frustrating thing. They triggered his release clause. They basically came in with a £23 million bid a couple of days before the end of the window, and I thought, that's fine, I'll stall it or whatever. We can get rid of this because, I talked to him eventually when I rejected it, and I was like, no, we're not doing this. And he's like, I have to trigger your release clause. £23 million, they're nowhere near it. So they come back in and they trigger the release clause, but unfortunately gave me virtually no time to try and find a replacement. So we did get £59 million for him. There's that is a potential bonus, but they gave me exactly 0. Oh, I did manage to get someone in, but there was a couple of players I was looking at. The problem was the clubs both wanted over 100 million for them. I was just like, oh, God, that shows you the level of quality we had in this team, that players that were of a reasonable level, probably slightly worse than him, were going to cost us upwards of 100 million pounds to replace, and that is the issue, unfortunately. And I was kind of hoping the release clauses are way more aggressive this year. It seems like players are refusing to not have release clauses in their contract, and they're really bad ones too. And that was this guy. This is Nikolai Ovagor Sunagor. I apologise for butchering his name. I've been calling him Nos in my notes up until now, but I could do with a nickname. So if anyone has a nickname for my lad Nikolai here, do let me know, because I can he be saying that name every time he gets the ball. It's bad enough having one double-barreled Danish name in our team, let alone 2. So he was the guy I chose to bring in. He cost £6 million because he was the next one on my list in terms of that. He's younger than the others. No, he was older actually. But he's got 3-star current ability, decent potential in theory. He's 6'6", good marking, good tackling, good jumping reach. Obviously, his heading is only 8, but he is so tall that I'm kind of hoping it will kind of counterbalance a little bit on that one. is very, very strong. He does dive into tackles, so I'm hoping that's not going to cost us too much. We'll see about that one. And he was the best I could really come up with at very, very short notice. And he had a £6 million release clause, so I figured it was worth triggering, if nothing else, basically. So that's the downside there. Also, Eric Thompson-Svenningsson actually won Premier League Young Player of the Month. He is having one hell of a lovely time. Now, we're doing the away leg first. Obviously, certain players can't play, certain players, you know, unavailable for this one. So we're going to do our best. I'm just going to quick pick. We'll go and do it properly afterwards. So, no, I don't want Liam Miller up top. I know he can technically play there, but he's just never performed well, other than that one, 20 minutes where I accidentally put him there. So Bajsa will still start. Bajsa, Pedro, Abasolo, Mela. See, this is the thing. Slawi he's not quite back yet. He'll be back probably for the second leg, but Davidson might have to start. No, wait, why would I put Davidson in? Surely Aquabe. Yeah, I feel like Aquabe was worth it of that. He did fine for us last year. Dimitrov is back now. Bednar's not quite back. He was one of the issues. I think Bednar got injured around about the time all this bad stuff started happening. I'm going to go with Roussel and Makengo here, but we are going to start weaning in Nos. But the rest of that's pretty... So I've moved Wilson back to defend. I might even move him back further, but I kind of still want that option. But I'm hoping that might solve that problem, because that's 4 goals this season that's cost us now. We have had an international break, which has given our chance to rest some players too. So we'll go with that. On the bench, Hume. John Hume is now finally back fit again after a long layoff, so it's nice to at least have some positive news. Lazaro's back as well. Dyer still on the bench. Miller, Nos, Davidson, and Gaddis. So it's okay. I really don't know what to make of this, to be honest. We've done really well in Europe so far, but I am a bit concerned. I mean, Dimitrov and Pedro have no link at all right now, and I think he and Sveni are actually starting to build one up, so I don't know. But I feel like Dimitrov is just a better quality player overall. Right, let's have a look at RB Leipzig. Ooh, okay, they're playing the Marion Lease style. It's been a long time since I've seen someone play this system against us, but what I used to do is mark the crap out of their defensive midfielder, because they're going to be a nuisance, and also their playmaker. And get in on this guy. And since they only have one strike, it makes sense to go after him as well. We're going to do our best here. I'm worried that whatever's afflicting that period of games is going to continue today, but I'd like to see some kind of turnaround. You never know, but I think this is going to be tough. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost all 3 games in this episode, to be honest. It'd be a sad way to finish the 100th episode, but maybe they'll surprise me. Who knows? Oops, we're still on 3D highlights from those things. Okay, we'll get through this. Oh, it does look cool though, doesn't it? Right, so first thing I'm noticing about this is that their left-sided winger tucks in like crazy, which means we're going to have acres of space here for Durand, and I might automatically go straight to distributing to the centre-back, the fullbacks, because he won't choose the one that's marked. He'll hopefully choose the other one. It's a shame you can't distribute to a single fullback and not both, but there you go. Because look at the amount of space out to this wing. That's where we're going to get most of our joy, I sense. It's a shame we don't have Slawi, really. He'd love it. Durand, we need a big performance from you today, Sonny. Melo, an away goal would be ideal here. Dimitrov into the space. Lovely ball. Bajsa! Oh, puts it wide. Looks like wide for Pedro. That's really nice. Now we need Bajsa to make the run. And he has done. Josef Bajsa's in! Saved again. He's had a couple of chances so far. We've started this game really strongly. It's nice to see. It was a positive start, but it's kind of tailed off a bit since then. And Makengo! Oh, it's in the back post. Well, that's gone all over the place. Morgan Roussel with the goal. We do lead. We've got our away goal. And the key thing for me right now is the fact that we're limiting Leipzig to no chances. No shots, no nothing. Because it's flicked on by. That's actually really nice play. And yeah, I think it's because the defender, because Yellow, their advanced playmaker, was stuck marking Makengo. Ball comes to the back post and we lead. But they've yet to have a shot, and that's really important. Because what I've been trying to do is, knowing the weaknesses in this team, is try to oh, come on! What the? Timo Werner just had rocket burners there. But well done, Wilson. He's kept us in the game there, really. Because their plan seems to be, get ball out wide with Sabitzer, and then whip it over the back for Werner, like, oh my god, like that. And they've done it 2 or 3 times now. At half-time, we're making those changes. So, 1-0 at half-time. We are fortunate to be in front because of what they did towards the end, but they only started doing that when we scored. So let's see what we can change. So the key thing is here, Sabitzer and Paslak. I want to get in on these guys a lot harder. Sabitzer. They've definitely turned on the quality ever since we scored the goal. It's actually incredible how they had no shots and chances before we scored. And since then, they've been absolutely ridiculous. Paslak. That should be it. That was the easiest save he had of the bunch. Pedro's free kick. Oh, it's in! It's in! It's 2-0. Pedro scored one. To be fair, we've conceded a load of them, but we've scored a load of them. And I want to see if it's about even, then what can you really say? It's 2-0 here. That's a really good one from Peders. 18th goal of the season. We're 2-0 up now in Germany. Right, this is huge. Get out to the guy out wide, though, if you could. Ziga. Oh, no. Wilson has just looked a bit flaccid lately, in all honesty. He's made some good saves, but then, I don't know. It's frustrating, but, like, what can you do? They get out to Ziegler pretty well, but it's a good header from Sabitzer. But Wilson, like, come on, man. I think we need to look for another goalkeeper in the summer. Suddenly he's just stopped being good. Pedro. Lazaro. picks the ball out. Makengo, Akwebu! Oh, it's 3-1. Now we've scored from a corner. It's a set-piece battle today. 3-1 in Germany. I feel like that's very harsh on Leipzig, based on how they played after we scored. But we've had some poor runs lately. Maybe we deserve a bit of luck. Makengo, lovely header back across, and Akwebu is in there. 3-1 up in Germany. That is sensational, lads. Right, let's keep going. Edge of the box, but we should be all right to... Oh, God. Pedro could really do with you getting back here, boy. Oh, Timo Werner gets across. I kind of blame Pedro for that, but then it's not really in his game, is it? We can't really begrudge them another goal there. They've played really well. Even if we got out of this with a 3-2 victory, I would consider that a very, very good result. 3-1 would be better, and... Oh, man. Two of you, come on. You can do better than that, guy. Can he find a good ball in? He doesn't. Dimitrov! Blocked. Lazaro! Mello! Oh, my God. How have we not scored a fourth goal in this match? There we go. Final whistle. Leipzig 2, Stockport County 3. In the end, I think we deserved the win, but there were moments in that game where Leipzig really were on top, but I think just about managed the game well enough to get the win over the line there. Oh, what a match that was. What a second leg is coming up now, lads. Right then, so we had one game in between off camera, and I played a slightly rotated side, as you can see. Lazaro started at right back, Ovegor, or Nos, started in there too. Charlie Dyer actually started this game, Dimitrov, Davidson, Akwebu, Liam Miller, you know, and we won 5-0. I don't know where that's come from. It's strange. It reminds me a lot of the Everton game last year, which we won 6-0, of course, and our last two home games against Everton, we've won by an aggregate score of 11-0. 5 different goal scorers too. Abasolo, Miller, Charlie Dyer scored a header from a direct free kick, an indirect free kick rather. Joseph Beiser got a lovely goal, and of course John Hume scored a free kick, which was very, very nice as well. 5-0, a thumping. I think it's a bit flattering on us, in all honesty. I don't think we created enough to get 5 goals, but we did it. And I guess maybe we were just lacking on the XG late, and it kind of pushed it back up. I had a look at the free kicks that we scored and conceded. It's about even, to be honest. It's about average, about even on both of them. I think what it was is, towards the start of the year, we just weren't conceding them, and I think it was just kind of returning to the mean, so to speak. So hopefully this is a real step in the right direction. Everton was 7th place, and we've just smashed them 5-0. That's huge. Right, Leipzig, because that's what we're actually all about. 3-2 up from the first leg away from home. We've got 3 away goals. There's a lot of scenarios in which we can go through pretty comfortably. A draw takes us through. There are several defeats which take us through as well. We could lose 1-0. We could lose 2-1. We're in a very, very strong position, but I'd like to just go out there and win. But we do have to be careful because we do have the League Cup final coming up on Sunday, and it's Thursday right now. So we'll see. We'll rotate around again. So Beiser, Pedro's back in. He had a little rest against Everton, which was, I think, a good idea. Abasola's back. Mello and Sloughy now is finally back. I wouldn't mind starting him today. Thing is, if we start him today, we can bring him off if we get the game killed, and it means he can be nice and fresh for the weekend against Chelsea. So I'm all right with that. Durand back, Makengo. Ooh, now then, a back two of Makengo and Nos. Really? I'm an idiot. I keep looking for Canmaz, but of course he's not here. So we might well have to go with these two lads. Makengo is wanted by someone, but he's always so reliable. So Cardo will come in. Dimitrov and, of course, Wilson on the bench. Yeah, that might have to do, to be honest. Bednar is very nearly back again, which would be very nice. So on the bench, Hume, Lazaro, Davidson, Miller, ETS, Dyer, and of course, Gaddis. It's nice to have John Hume back. I'm a fan of his. Right, let's do what we did last time. Honestly, given the way things have gone lately, I was coming into this episode fully expecting us to lose both legs, the League Cup final and probably that Everton game. So far, we've won away in Germany, 5-0 against Everton. Can we keep it going? In fact, we don't need to win the match at all. What I mean is I don't care if this is an absolutely boring 0-0 draw. That would be totally fine by me. We can even afford to lose 1-0 to a piece of nonsense goal if we absolutely have to. I just want to see this game out, see what these guys can do. Charles on the breakaway here. Slowey's picked it up. We could catch him on the break. Beiser didn't make the run for some reason. He might still be able to get a shot away. It's a bit too deep. Pulls it across. Pedro! Oh, yes. Surely now. Surely now. Beiser does brilliantly. Pedro gets on the air. 19 goals for the season for Peders now. This is nice work, but I feel like Beiser should have been making a run a bit earlier. He sort of just holds it off too much, but Pedro just ghosts past everybody. No, well, they sort of pick him up, but not enough. He's there at the back post, arriving late for once it actually works on the break. It's 1-0 after 18 minutes, and we have the lead. Nicely done. Okay, excellent first half. Pedro's goal caught them on the break. They've got loads of the ball, but are doing nothing with it. Werner's looking important, just looking impotent up front. But I'm going to make one change, and that is to stay on feet. We're just looking a little bit too aggressive, and I'm worried we might get a red card. We've got too many fouls here. Abasolo was about to launch himself there. Werner. Well played, Sloughy. Wonderful work. Dimitrov. Cutting quite inside here, but he should be able to find Pedro still. Oh, what a ball. Beister has to bust it to get into the box. Can he finish it off? He does. It's 2-0 to Stockport County, 5-2 on aggregate, and we are heading through now to the next round of the Europa League. What a performance. This has been really, really good. I don't know. I feel like getting the 3-2 victory in Germany just seems to have galvanised them. The 5-0 win over Everton lasting after that. Few players coming to this game fully rested. Bicer's picking up goals and assists like crazy now in the last few matches. He's really coming on strong. Bobson. And there we go. Stockport 2, RB Leipzig 0. Really professional performance. We didn't allow them a single shot in the entire game. They clearly set up to try and dominate possession. We've allowed them to do it, adjusted our game, and this is important, a lesson we can all learn here. Sometimes you're not going to be able to impose yourself on the other team, but that's okay because you can still adapt, and I think adapting there is what's got us the win. 60% possession for the opposition is very rare these days for us, but we've rode it and we've done a great job. By the way, can we talk about how good Makengo and Nos were as our back two in today's match? I'm thinking he's done all right, frankly, since he's come in, considering a lot of the media were actually calling it a panic buy, and in a way I kind of thought it was too, but even if he does a solid job to see us over the line until we can buy someone better in the summer, I'm pleased with the lad, and now we're through to the next round of the Europa League. Come on! Here we go! Draw for the second knockout round, so we need to get through this to meet the board's expectations. Who's still in this then? Bloody hell. There's no easy draws here, is it? Let's just go Celta Vigo maybe? Who are we going to get? Marseille! Okay! That's not bad. Let's just see where Marseille have finished in recent years. Oh, that's not the one I want. I've got to switch that off. I never do though, do I? So, fifth in... they come second. So how are they doing at the moment? They're currently third in League 1. Right guys, we're back for the third live com in this Bonanza episode. If you're still with me, awesome. Drop a like maybe if you've enjoyed it up to this part. I don't know. Yeah, so we're, well, not away to Chelsea. We're playing in a neutral venue, of course, which is Wembley Stadium. First ever cup final that we've reached in this save, which is dope. I don't think we're going to win it because Chelsea are next level good at the moment. They are like 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League now. Really are stretching their legs out there, which is a shame. I felt like we maybe could have given them a run, but remember, they're not playing in any European competition this year. Even we are. And I feel like that's really had a massive effect on their ability to just concentrate on the league and these domestic trophies. So I think they will win the league comfortably, and I think they might be able to go for... They're out the FA Cup, though. They did lose to Leicester in that, so there is still hope. And we have beaten Chelsea by an aggregate scoreline of 7-0 over the last 2 games against them. So it could be done. You never know. Even better news, though, is Spurs lost 1-0 to Manchester City, and that means that we're 6 points clear still, but we have a game in hand now, and if we win that, which is against Huddersfield or Everton, no, Huddersfield or Brighton, we could go back to 9 points clear of dropping out the Champions League places, and that would be with like 10 games to go, and suddenly it would look a lot more comfortable there. So that's good. Let's get into the final. No beating around the bush here, lads. Niko Kovac is now Chelsea manager. Okay, so we'll do a quick pick and I'll rearrange it myself. So Roussel will come back. Camille Bednar, I'm sorry, I love Camille, I do, but I don't think he should be starting in a cup final in it. Wow, look at this. So ETS is now rated higher than even Dimitrov. That is quite some progression the lad has made this year. And honestly, I feel like I should reward his efforts this season with a starting place in a League Cup final. What a play! Seriously, this guy at the start of the year wasn't even in the picture for me, and I was trying to loan him out because he went to Oxford last year, I think it was. And 2 injuries to the players in front of him allowed him to come into the team, and frankly, he is now already in the number 2 spot, and what a man he is. Seriously, I'm so pleased for Eric Thompson Svenningsson. Right, so Bicep, Pedro, Abasolo's fine. Melo, Slawi, Bolford, that's what I want. Yeah, that's pretty much about as strong as we can get here. Makengo and Roussel comes back in. It's always nice to have big Morgs at the back, but not Morg's mum. You might notice that Charlie Dyer is transfer listed. He complained, he wanted to leave. I agreed £15 million, which was brilliant with Villarreal, with some clauses too, and that would have probably made most of our money back, if not some more in the clauses. And then he turned down their contract offer. So obviously didn't want to leave that badly, did you, Charlie? Okay, so that is going to be our bench. Hume, Lazaro, Gaddis, Miller, Nos, Davidson, and of course, Bednar. Right then, let's go. First ever cup final in this save. Chelsea versus Stockport. Come on, lads. Imagine if we won some trophy. I said I wanted to try and win something this year. This is probably going to be our best chance, I think. We're not winning the league. We're out the FA Cup. I don't think we're going to win the Europa League. This is our chance. I'm still not expecting anything from the lads today, but it would be nice if we were to complete this episode with 4 fantastic victories in the episode 1 off camera, of course. But I feel like it's probably a bit of a long shot to go and win this, particularly with the form Chelsea are in these days. Coombe, they really have stepped it up since that defeat to us, frankly. Svenningsson clears. Oh, they have absolutely flown out the traps today. Oh, what a save and a clearance, and my God, he's offside. And it looks like it's not going to stop. And I haven't really had a chance to reorganise this just yet. That's a ball. That's a ball. Bicer finds Pedro. Here we go. Cautious it is. On the break. Pedro, can he find the cross? Whips it across. Abasolo has done it on the break. We lead in the League Cup final. Ander Abasolo gives us the lead. Now we need to be playing on the break for the rest of this match. This is one hell of a counter-attack. Pedro is superb out wide here. Just holds the ball up nicely. stops, whips that to the back post, and Abasolo, first time strike. Kepa, I think it's in goal for Chelsea, never getting there, and we lead at Wembley in the League Cup final. That is against the run of play if ever I've seen it. Right, just going to try and kill this. Lo Celso, Makengo clears. It's going to come back to him, though. You can feel it. Oh, wow. Jedson for now. I mean, sometimes you just got to hold your hands up. Nothing tactically we could have done would have stopped that from going in. That's mental. He's an absolutely crazy strike. Just picks the ball up, everybody's in the way, and just unleashes one underneath. Well, I mean, yeah, 1-1, not much we could do. I think we still have to play on the break, though. I think this might be a bridge too far for him. Don't let him get inside. I mean, it kind of just feels like Chelsea can just shoot and they'll just go in from those areas. These are not situations where these goals would normally go in from. I feel like we're defending reasonably well. But these shots are just so powerful, they're just going in anyway. He's tracked him all the way across here. They maybe could have done a bit better, but he's still at a ridiculous angle. And it's 2-1 to Chelsea now, and I just think they're just better than us. So, half-time change. Svenny, I'm sorry, mate, you're coming off. Camille Bednar's coming on. I'm also going to set Pedro to mark their left back. You know, it is still only 2-1. A single goal, if we could somehow pull one out the bag, would be enough to get us back into this game. Slowy. Switch through for Pedro. Can he get the shot away? No, but Abasolo might get the cross away or something. I really don't want us to just lose the ball on this play. Mello. Oh, play. Oh, it's got it. Yes. Chelsea 2, Stockport 2. David Mello with the equaliser. Boffa with the assist. That is what a goal to score in a League Cup final. The last time he scored one like that was against Everton in that 6-0 win. I said, oh, wow, look at that from Durant. I said, I don't want this play to not come to a shot. And he's just unleashed one. Bad from Kepa. It is 2-2 in the final. Let's see what we can do now from a static position. Fernando. Oh, that's a goal. Yep. They just lost their markers. Chelsea 3. Stop. Like, they deserve to win this match. Let's not beat around the bush here. We've been very, very lucky to hang in here. And I think it's Abasolo that loses his man. Yeah, he does. He just... Often he'll track the run, but Caicedo gets across. Karamoussis with the header, and Wilson can't reach it. Right. Bednar's throwing again. It's going to be headed to the... Oh, dear. And he's not going to... Oh, God. Now we're in trouble. This is going to be the 4th one for Chelsea. Can he win it? No. Guedes. Can he win it? No. And it's a goal. We should have done better there, really. Because there were 2 opportunities to win the ball off them and they just didn't make the tackles. Bit disappointed, if I'm honest here. Like, we've got 2 men back. It's only 2-on-2. One guy's going to come out and press, and fine, he'll knock it inside. But this should be better there. You've got... What was that? Brilliant. Yeah, just sure. Let him through. No worries. Is that because I've got... No, we don't have stay on feet on. I don't know what that was. That was just bad. Well, that looks like it's going to be a lot. 4-2 defeat in the League Cup final. It was always going to be a tough ask. Oh, no, please not 5. Well done, Wilson, again. Chelsea deserve the win. Look at the amount of chances they created, the amount of shots they've had against us. This is not the Chelsea we played earlier this season, and it's interesting, because it's the same system and the same team, but they've really, really turned up today. Chelsea 4, Stockport 2. We've lost the League Cup final, but we can't really have any qualms about it. We scored 2 goals, and we probably didn't deserve to. Still, we gave it a best shot. This is why I think Chelsea are going to run away with the league this year. But that's all right, because we've got, you know, more stuff to come. It's our first attempt at a cup final, and we had to play probably the best team in the country in it. It's not like we had an easy tie. We've done well to get that far, and I'm sure the board are happy with that. It's a shame to lose one, but there you go. So next episode, of course, is going to be Europa League against Marseille. Oh, yes. With off-camera games against Brighton and Huddersfield. I want 2 wins in those 2 games, because we just need to solidify ourselves as a Champions League contender, and then we can start to concentrate on the Europa League in these matches. Because I think Marseille, it's going to be tough, but I feel like that's a winnable tie compared to some of the other teams in that group, particularly when the teams from the Champions League drop down in. And I don't know which round. It might have been this round. So, yeah. So if you have enjoyed this episode, we got through the Europa League. That's good. We had the EFL Cup final, but it was not to be. Drop a like on the video anyway if you want more people to see this. I'm sure this episode was in excess of half an hour, but I'm sure you guys don't mind. Some people said they wanted to see me do double uploads. It ain't happening, but this is the closest you're going to get. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode for Marseille. Doubleheader against Marseille. Can we do it again? I think it's possible, but we'll see how we do in the off-camera Premier League games. That's going to be telling, I think. See you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.